Some moments of memory loss aren't something to be alarmed about. Forgot your grocery list, can't find your house keys, you aren't alone. Everyone forgets things occasionally. Most times it's a simple indicator that your mind is very preoccupied or you're too busy. Meanwhile, having a consistently poor memory can be more problematic for others. Thankfully, there are plenty of things you can do to help boost your memory. Have you tried a brain workout before, say learning a new skill like playing guitar? That's already considered a brain workout. This and two more powerful yet simple tricks will be discussed in a little while, so make sure to stick around until the end. Before we continue, a like would be great. Number 1, do brain workouts. By the time a person has reached adulthood, their brain has created millions of neural pathways that help in processing and recalling information quickly. In addition, these pathways are also utilized when solving familiar problems and carrying out customary tasks with minimal mental effort. But if you're doing things that you're used to, meaning it's the same well-worn paths being used all over again, then your brain isn't getting the stimulation necessary to keep growing and developing. So you must do other things from time to time. Think of memory as muscular strength. It needs to be used or else it'll be lost. The more you exercise your brain, the better it can process and remember information. However, it's important to note that not all activities are equal. The best brain workouts discontinue your routine and instead compel you to use and create new brain pathways. Ultimately, they will boost your memory powerfully. So, what makes a good memory boosting activity then? Let's check out the 4 primary elements here. Number 1, it must teach you something new. It doesn't matter if the activity is super intellectually demanding because it's pointless if you're already good at it. What matters is that it's new to you. The activity must be something uncharted and out of your comfort zone. To enhance your brain memory, it must be taught to learn and develop new skills. Number 2, it must be a skill you can further develop. Next, choose activities that consist of many levels. For instance, you should be able to start at an easy level and then gradually work your way up as your skills improve. When you're always pushing the envelope, you're also constantly expanding your capabilities. Once the then difficult level starts feeling comfortable, it's a sign that you need to move to the next level. Number 3, it must be challenging. A best memory-boosting activity is one that demands your complete and close attention. An activity that's challenging at one point won't suffice. Rather, it should still being the operative word, require mental effort from you. A good example is learning to play a new and hard Mozart piece. What isn't good is playing a difficult piece that you've already mastered. Number 4, it must be rewarding. A reward system aids in the learning process of the brain. It's simply because the greater your interest and involvement in an activity, the higher the chances of you continuing doing it, and the greater the benefits you'll experience. Hence, pick activities that are challenging yet also satisfying and enjoyable. You can do something you've always wanted to try before, say speaking Japanese, playing drums, dancing the waltz, or playing golf. Such activities go a long way in boosting your memory as long as they remain challenging and you remain engaged. Brain workouts are great, but so are physical workouts. Exercising regularly is effective in boosting your memory threefold. Keep watching to know more about this. Number 2, exercise regularly and get enough sleep. Physical activity increases blood flow to the entire body, including the brain. This then helps sharpen the memory. Research has said that exercise is beneficial for the brain and aids in improving memory in people of all ages. Moreover, it enhances the effects of good brain chemicals and lowers stress hormones. In other studies, it was concluded that regular physical activity can increase the secretion of neuroprotective proteins and improve the growth and development of neurons. All those lead to improved brain health. Here are some important memory-boosting points to remember. Aerobic exercise is particularly ideal for the brain as it keeps the blood pumping. Think of it this way. Anything that's good for the heart is also good for the brain. Struggling with sleep fog? Then you may find that exercising first thing in the morning makes a huge difference. Aside from clearing the fog, it also preps you for any learning throughout the day. Any physical activity that requires hand-eye coordination or difficult motor skills is particularly good for memory building. Make sure you take exercise breaks as they'll help you recover from mental fatigue and afternoon slumps. Breaks can be as simple as a short walk or a couple of jumping jacks. Aside from memory, your creativity and critical thinking skills also rely a lot on the quality and quantity of your sleep. On average, adults need between 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep every night to avoid sleep deprivation. Just skimping on a couple of hours is already impactful enough. But did you know that sleep is even way more crucial to learning and memory? According to research, sleep is vital for memory consolidation. In addition, the main memory-enhancing activity occurs during the deepest stages of sleep. Below are some tips to improve your memory ×3 through a good night's rest. Get on a regular sleep schedule. Sleep at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every day. Do this on the weekends and holidays too. Reduce caffeine intake. Caffeine in particular affects people differently. To those who are incredibly sensitive, having a morning coffee can interfere with their sleep at night. Reduce your intake, or better yet, cut it out entirely if you think it's what's keeping you up. No screens an hour before bed. The blue light from electronic devices like mobile phones, televisions, and computers stimulates wakefulness and suppresses sleep hormones. So, at least an hour before bed, limit your screen time. Have you heard of or tried maybe a mnemonic device? It's another powerful way of enhancing your memory, especially for students. Discover more about it next. Number 3, use mnemonic devices. Mnemonics are tools that are used to help you remember things and information more easily. They're often used by students to aid with recall. There are several ways to use mnemonics. Let's get to know them a bit one by one so you'll know which one is best for you. Number 1, keyword. Say you're learning a new language, so first you pick a keyword that prompts you to think of the foreign world. Then you imagine the keyword connected with the meaning of the foreign word you want to learn. Number 2, chunking. This method works by arranging information into more easily memorized groups, words, phrases, or numbers. For instance, you need to memorize this number: 3859321874661. You can chunk it into threes, like 385, 932, 187, 461, so they're easier to remember. Number 3, musical. Another great way of encoding information into your brain is through music. A classic example is the ABC song. But of course, you can use other songs, especially those that are created solely to help teach certain information. And don't worry, you don't need to carry a tune well or write music correctly for this method to work. Number 4, letter and word. The most familiar types of mnemonic techniques are acronyms and acrostics. Acronyms use a letter formula to represent each word or phrase that has to be remembered. For instance, think of the word homes to represent the 5 Great Lakes, namely Lake Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. On the other hand, acrostic has the same concept as the acronym, except that it generates a sentence, not words. For instance, remember the phrase, "Never let monkey eat bananas." It represents the order of the normal differential count of white blood cells: neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, and basophils. Number 5, making connections. Connecting new information with something else you're familiar with or know is another good mnemonic strategy. It gives the new information new meaning, yet also makes it easier to remember. For instance, if you have a new neighbor named Beatrice, think of a word that can make you think of her. For instance, if she always seemed very lively every time you see her, use the word bubbly to associate with her.